this Saturday, check out my son at SOB's doing his goddamn thing. Then right after that, we're gonna head over to Brooklyn Bridge and go to the 5 spot on Myrtle Ave, where I'm gonna be spinning on ones and twos, hitting the best of the golden era fucking hip hop and R&B. That's how we do. If you've never been to like the Tunnel, or if you've never been to like Latin Quarters or Union Square, and if you don't like that type of energy, then don't come to this. Don't come, because that's the type of shit I'm playing. Like, I'm not. There ain't gonna be no Lil Uzi Vert, none of that is going on. None of that is going on. Strictly classic hip hop shit. Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Fact Checker Rage.
Digga is still on hiatus over in Europe, doing her 1-2 thing, getting those euros. But she will be back next episode. Thank goodness. No more residual booty heat for you. No more residual booty heat. But listen, we appreciate y'all joining us. We encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and most of all, to donate to the show so that we can keep this thing independent and be able to bring you the kind of content that we like to bring the way we like to bring it. That being said, go to cash.me/$Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, or yanadameen.com/support. We appreciate every dollar given towards the show. Thank you. We love you. So, Rage.
Yes, buddy.
So you have been hounding me.
Hound. Let's get it.
You've been hounding me to have a hip hop discussion. Now, this is a hip hop talk show. And we don't always talk about, current events in hip hop. We just talk about hip hop itself. Hip hop is the topic. So you're hounding me right now.
Right now, actively
First of all, is that a fucking Gucci shirt you got on?
Federally non-cipher guard, this is not Gucci.
What the fuck?
It's definitely not Gucci, man.
That looked like the Gucci colors.
It sure does. It's not Gucci. Never fucking Gucci, really.
Okay. I'm just saying. Don't play that shit.
No, sir.
But this is Polo. I'm not gonna lie. This is Polo. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So you said you want to talk about certain watershed moments in hip hop.
Certainly.
I'm down to play this little game with you for about 20 minutes or so. We can go towards the beginning of hip hop, because there's certain things. The way I was introduced to hip hop, I was introduced to that raw hip hop. You see, like that tape, the hip hop that was like on tape from the Fever and the T Connection and Harlem World and
Rooftop,
Bronx River and shit. Like, nah, not a Rooftop. I was at the Rooftop by then.
Right.
Talking about before, the shit that I was too young to go to when I was just hearing the tapes. So, but then hip hop got on wax.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, once it got on wax, we were happy that it was there, but it didn't sound like that same hip hop from the tape.
100%.
It wasn't as raw, and I don't know. Let's just start where you want to start, and I'm gonna interject what the shit I want to interject.
Well, to back up what you're saying, if I were to take a cue from the hip hop sound losing its rawness once it was interpreted on vinyl, we can go to Sugar Hill's catalog.
That's what I'm immediately thinking of.
And I definitely concur.
They mangled those break beats to me.
Because it was like you had a tape a flashing.
I was like, is white people playing this?
Yo,
The fuck
for
is this?
real. It was like you had tapes of Flash and all that grit with Melly Mel and them tearing up the mic and Flash cutting. But then you'd hear the record and you hear like Freedom and it's like, Flash, one time. Like, that's not a scratch. Where's the scratching? They had like,
Right.
like I was like, yo, where's the scratching?
Yes, where's the scratch?
There was no scratching on those original Sugar Hill records. So I was like, that's the first problem I'm having. Where are the cuts? They would like have like a horn stab or something like
But
that.
now, hold up. Wasn't Super Rapping, wasn't that on Enjoy?
I believe so.
And see, that one, although that was a remake, like that one did sound kind of raw. And we ended up using like the like that ended up being a break beat in itself in a way. Like that shit had a little more rawness to it, the way it was recorded, and it wasn't all shiny the way that Sugar Hill shit used to be sounding like.
Absolutely.
So the Sugar Hill Gang's music, Flash and the Furious 5, even some of the Treacherous 3 joints.
Right.
Like if you think about when they was on, I think they were on Enjoy
They
too.
were also Enjoy.
Enjoy, now that I think about it, for those that don't know, Enjoy was an independent record label back in the days. You know, one of the first hip hop labels. You had Sugar Hill, you had Enjoy back then. What else was out? Damn, I feel like Sleeping Bag came later.
Bro, that was during the
Sleeping Bag and
80s,
Tommy Boy and all that came a little later. But at this point,
just Enjoy.
you know, you had
Fever.
the dudes that did the Super Disco breaks. Yeah, the Disco Fever records,
Disco
right?
Fever, absolutely. Super Disco, shout out Breakbeat Lou. I just spoke to Breakbeat Lou. Trying to get you on the show, girl.
Oh, let's get Breakbeat a little on here.
Please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, because I saw Breakbeat Lou on Instagram.
Right.
And so I'm like, and he said that it said that he put out, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this the dude that put out the Super Disco breaks?
Yeah,
Like,
I think that was my post because he got at us. I was speaking
Well,
to him.
I'm telling you right now, I want Breakbeat Lou on the fucking show.
Absolutely.
Hit us up. We're gonna get you on here because those were like for a DJ. Cause you didn't know, first of all, where to even get a lot of these records at.
Absolutely.
Okay? Like, you know, Flash and these niggas used to like cover up the records, put magic marker and shit and tape on the record. So they'll pull out a record and they know what it is, but you don't know what the fuck it is.
Lit.
You try to look over their shoulder and they put magic marker over the shit or a piece of fucking tape.
And what was so crazy is that when they would mess up their copies and then need to re-up, you would see a Grandmaster Flash at Music Factory. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Getting 2 copies.
Or what's the shit that was right is that what in Times Square?
Yes, absolutely. Music Factory.
Music Factory.
That's where everybody went. That's where
I first went to get my shit. And I'm talking, but I had to come from all the way in Westchester.
Absolutely.
I had to get on a bus to take me to the fucking last stop on the 2 train and then take the train all the way down.
Right. I think we should tell people what a breakbeat is, though, if you don't mind. Let me.
Well, go ahead. Tell them what a breakbeat is.
Again, this is the hip hop forensics. You know what I mean? A breakbeat.
Yeah, this is your camera,
This
Rage.
is my camera. A breakbeat comprises of certain funk records or even jazz or pop songs. Most of the time, they were kind of like one-hit wonders, and they didn't really have that much commercial appeal. But they featured a segment in the record for like 4 to 8 bars or so, where the song was just stripped down to its most basic element.
The rawest
The rawest
form, and usually it's just the drum.
Usually just the drums. Maybe a guitar, like a horn
Maybe,
stab.
but they're different. Yeah, like it'll start with like an instrument, like a wow
on the one, like
but
a
then,
James Brown, right? Just go somewhere.
Wow, you know what I mean? So it's like
So once the original diggers, shout out Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flowers, Grand Wizard Theater, all of them. Once they had discovered these segments, they would buy dual copies of the records
to extend it,
and then repeat it on the turntables 1 and 2. And eventually, the art of sampling would mimic that feature of going from 1 and 2.
Right, but real hip hop, it's like we discovered that for us, hip hop was the break
Absolutely.
of a song. So everything else outside of the break was kind of whack.
Exactly.
Like it was like, get that shit out of here.
Right.
I only want this little piece right here. And so since that piece was so dope, but it was so short, the fact that, because we used to extend them with pause button tapes and all that type of shit back in the days.
Anything we could.
The fact that the DJ could live on the spot make that shit extend for a long time was dope. And then the fact that now people just started saying little shit over it because you couldn't help it. Yes, y'all.
And where'd that come from?
I don't know where that came from.
Can I speak on that?
Go ahead, build on it.
All right. So again, shout out to Kool Herc. So the process of
you're looking at this camera, Rage. Get your shit together, Rage.
Yes, sir. Again, the process they used to call toasting evolved from Jamaica, when the DJs at a dance hall would shout out the different crews and popular people at a party over a particular record. So, for instance, like, yo, my youth, or big up so and so and so. They started calling out names and calling out crews. When Kool Herc transplanted...
Well, why they call it toasting?
Well, like, you toast an event. Like, we like to commemorate the wedding.
Toasting is when you hold up your drink. I propose a toast.
Correct. There it is. So, right. So they were toasting the celebrity of the people at the party.
Okay.
Or the occasion.
You probably didn't even really think about that.
No, actually I did. I've been on it. I'm the forensics guy.
I'm a forensics guy too. Let's go.
Yes, you are. Right. So once Kool Herc transplanted that, obviously the Jamaican patois wasn't necessarily as preeminent in the Bronx. So what went from, my youth, big up, or whatever they were saying, that turned into yes, y'all.
No, that doesn't feel right.
That's skipping something.
I am somebody that studies etymology. Okay, and that we're not just gonna go from big up my youth to yes, y'all. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so it had to be something else that caused the yes, y'all, to the beach, y'all, rock, y'all. You don't stop, because that's really what the whole thing is right there. Like,
right. But again, it's toasting you. It's call and response. The crowd, yes, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
In a general sense, I'm just saying the saying. You said where did yes, y'all come from?
I didn't mean yes,
that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? So if we're talking about yes, y'all,
right.
You're not just going to tell me that we went from big up my youth to yes, y'all. Right. That doesn't make, etymological sense.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. It should, if you told me they were saying, a test call. You see?
Oh, yeah.
You see?
That's what you're saying.
And then over here,
what's yes, y'all.
Right. Turned to yes, y'all. I would buy that.
I didn't mean it literal. I just meant, the call and response.
I understand the call and response, yes, but I thought you was really getting into the, I thought we was picking this body apart.
No, that's for my show. Hip Hop and Forensics Approach coming to YANADAMEEN Network. It's alive.
So let's move ahead. So what I'm saying is these break beats, right? And even when you'd hear the instruments, it just
oh man, yeah.
The shit was just so much more funkier, and just the records were like, it had the pop and the crackle and all of that. Yeah. And then you're getting a tape that's probably been dubbed at least 100 times already. So your shit has a lot of air, but it just added to the ambiance of the whole thing.
It was
so now when you
mesmerizing.
hear these records from Sugar Hill and all that, it's a little disappointing. So I gotta say, for me, the first record that I felt like, yes, like y'all did kind of what I want, was Sucker MC from Run DMC. Because they actually fell victim on the A side with the
It's Like That.
Yeah, It's Like That. That was a whole, Planet Rock started that style. That style
electronic
of
drum programming,
and just the way that sounded and rhymed. Money is the key to end all your woes. Like that, to us, that wasn't real, like
rhyming.
That was, but we understood to me, I felt like, all right, these dudes are trying to get their bread. They're trying to actually appeal to a bigger audience. I get it. I'm gonna give these niggas a pass.
Right.
And hip hop was so valuable to us at the time, and this is what I need to say, that there was a lot of shit that we was gonna let slide because you couldn't be so picky about it.
Because it was so limited.
It was so limited that
that's so deep. Yeah.
I'm happy.
You just happy like, yo.
Yes, I'm not happy that they're playing this shit. Doesn't sound as good as that shit on tape, but I'm happy that they are playing that though.
Absolutely.
You see, like at least they're trying to recreate this breakbeat that I love so much.
Right.
And they're cool enough to know about that breakbeat.
And let me please.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me touch on that.
So it was conflicting. And it only wasn't until Sucker MC when they just took out all the music and it was just the drums and they were recreating a breakbeat action.
Yes, they were. Now that's what I want to touch on.
What was the name of the group?
Orange Crush.
Orange Crush.
Right.
But that one
it was Crush Groove number one was Action.
I was like, nah, this is some, and he's really rhyming, and all the Crush became amazed at me, and Larry put me inside.
Larry, that's what I want to touch on.
Chauffeur drove off, and we never count me.
Yeah.
Come on, Larry Smith.
Yeah, so Larry Smith was one of the first. He was responsible for what they call the big beat sound.
And some of the greatest
hip hop ever.
Classics.
Rest in peace, Larry
of early
Smith.
hip hop.
Let's get it in. I can't wait to give
Friends.
you my flowers.
He did a bunch of Houdini
work.
Yep.
Run DMCs, all that stuff. What he apparently,
Beastie Boys.
For what I understand is, I think it was on his trip to Europe. He had found a lot of different technology and came across the Oppenheimer drum machine, and he used those different drum machines to create some of those breaks that we love so much. You know what I mean? So again, Sucker MCs is the song Action by Orange Crush, just programmed into that drum machine.
But without any bass lines and all that, just the drums.
And again, you know,
and then he put that clap, see,
oh man.
By doing that gave the beat a personality of its own.
Absolutely.
Like, that just stood out so crazy that, yo.
It was ridiculous, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely Sucker MCs. The flip side was It's Like That. And the big beat sound. Oh, I wanted to say the interesting thing about, again,
the
why
A side was It's Like That.
It's Like
Sucker
That.
MCs was the B side.
The B side wins again. Shout out Chuck D. But again, what made hip hop so infectious was, they say nature's way is to simplify. And when you have a song with all this different instrumentation and arrangement, the most simplistic part of that song would be considered the break. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back
sometimes
to Africa,
less is more.
Less is more. So hip hop, man, is the drum, which goes back to Africa. You know what I mean? The rhythm. So that's why.
Well, which goes back to original people.
Right.
You see, because the native people here in this country are known for using the drums. Yeah. The Aboriginal in Australia is known for using the drum. Like, we original people of the planet Earth.
Them dudes with the arrows probably had drums too.
Use the drum. Oh, you know they got drums. The ones that fucked up my man, the missionary dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know they was drumming right after they fucking arrowed his ass up.
Right.
They probably used a couple arrows as drumsticks. Yeah, used his skin as a motherfucking drum skin. Tighten this motherfucker up. So, I mean,
so let's talk radio now. Now let's talk. Okay, we identified records. Now hip hop on the radio. You know where I'm going with this.
Hip hop on the radio. That was very rare too. You see what I'm saying? So I came up with Mr. Magic and the Supreme Team. On WHBI. Well, it was kind of the same time, You're right. It was around the same time, yes. Right. Even Africa Islam had a radio show at that time.
Yes.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, the Awesome 2.
Absolutely. Awesome
had a fucking radio show shortly thereafter.
Absolutely.
And these are all independent, like college radios. And it wasn't mainstream, and they'd come on like on a Tuesday at like 1 o'clock
in the morning. You're supposed to be asleep. You can't get the station.
Yeah, I'm a little kid. Yeah, and where I lived at, like HBI would only come in my kitchen,
right
by the window with the antenna just touching the metal of the screen, and without that, it's not gonna work nowhere else. So I had to
you put in the time.
And so I had this. There used to be this freezer, like a whatchamacallit freezer. Like not the refrigerator, but then a freezer, like a deep freezer. Yeah, there was a deep freezer over there by the window. So I'm sitting on a deep freezer, waiting for the shit to come on. Got my tape deck ready. You know what I mean? Because some shit, you gonna catch some shit.
For real.
And you might catch, some routines, all kinds of shit they used to play on there.
Word up, man.
But the crushing thing is when you fall asleep at 12:50.
Then your man tell you the next day.
12:51.
Yo, they was cutting. 415s was up there and stuff. He's like, oh man. But somebody might have had to take.
Or I used to always also be one of the little motherfuckers that I'm calling up there trying to get my shout out.
Wow.
I'm talking whatever the number was.
Yes, man.
And back then, it wasn't busy. Oh, fuck. Okay. It's ringing. Oh shit. And sometimes they might pick it up and just hang it right back. Fuck. Hello, WHBI Supreme Team. Oh shit. This is KD from New Rochelle. That was my name at that time. This is KD from New Rochelle, and I just want to shout out whoever the fuck, Jawel. No, We Rock and Debonair and Savoir Faire. All right. Boom. And now you really waiting and shit. Now you really waiting. Cause when they fucking say your name.
Oh my God. Word.
I did all of that, bro. Man. I did all of that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I did all of that.
You definitely got to touch, when we touched on WHBI and the world famous Supreme Team. Again,
shout out to my man C Divine.
Yo.
Peace to the God. I had the pleasure of actually, meeting him, building with him. He came to my rest before.
That's dope.
Oh, man.
What's interesting is, again, and you and I discussed about the 5% doctrine and what hip hop did to propel it. And also, I believe that hip hop owes the 5% doctrine for a lot of its mantras, a lot of its, ways.
Absolutely.
Its, for sure. But, I was introduced to that stuff, didn't know what it was, by the Supreme Team. Like, what are they saying? They used to do the,
yes.
They used to sing the
Enlightener.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I remember, when they were doing that thing, they would have all these different codes about how to behave and how to act. So I was getting different levels of maturity, you know what I'm saying, and culture.
When I got knowledge, I started reading. I said, wait a minute. I know this from the Supreme Team songs.
Yeah.
Like
peace to
the knowledge is the foundation. The wisdom is the way. The understanding show you. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's what they were saying. And I was like, wow. And I was in that. And at that moment, that's what unlocked some shit in me. I said, these motherfuckers taught me without me knowing I'm being taught. Bang, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Absolutely. And then, obviously they got up with Malcolm McLaren from the UK and they made Buffalo Gals, which is the first record I ever bought. I didn't even know what was on the record. All I know was on the 12-inch, it had a picture of 2 turntables in the mixer. I said, I'll have that. Took it home and I think they was like one of the few, I think the Crash Crew might have given a little, but I think they were the first one to be like, no, this is what it is.
See, I'm fortunate enough, like, even though I grew up in New Rochelle, which is in Westchester, we was like, a stone's throw from the Boogie Woogie. You know what I mean? So we had a record store in New Rochelle, and I don't know why this dude, how he was new, because this was a white dude that owned the shit, but it was called Paul's Record Hut.
I remember that.
And Paul's Record Hut had a hip hop section. early. I mean, early in the game where you could get a couple, Rocket in the Pocket, Super Disco Breaks they had in there. They had Treacherous 3, you know what I mean? Like them Sugar Hill records, they was up on their shit. Shout out to Paul's Record Hut. That shit has been gone for years, but all y'all motherfuckers from Nerd Shell, y'all remember that shit. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all gonna be like, hells yeah, I remember Paul's Record Hut. Talk about that shit in the comments. But I was just fortunate enough to be able to go in there as a kid, before I was able to even get on the train and all that and go down to Music Factory and all that type of shit. I just go walk right up to Paul's Record Hut and, just window shopping records, because I can't buy all the records. I gotta choose now too. Which is gonna be that one? Because I can only get one. You know what I mean? Damn, this nigga Curtis Blow, he look cool as a motherfucker on this cover. I might have to get this Curtis Blow one right here. And this shit, yeah, man, that's how the shit was working, man.
I used to go to Music Factory just to see the rappers because we talking about like platforms to be heard, to promote. At one point, it was your vinyl. So you had to go to Music Factory and you go there and you'd run into a Kool Keith, a Salt and Pepper, a Just Ice, a KRS-One, a De La Soul. Literally just musing around the store to see who was picking up their 12-inch, man, or they were signed to 8.5 by 11 glossy.
Yeah, well, that's a little bit down the road. Well, listen, this is a nice little teaser that we gave.
The hip-hop forensics approach.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
With Fact Checker Rage.
Absolutely.
The motherfucking, that's why he was trying to like give a theme, so he put on his scrubs one day.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers like, what, Ray just came from work and shit? What the fuck is up with the nurse's outfit he had on? Mm-hmm. He's the Quincy ME of this motherfucker, right? Yes, remember Quincy?
Yeah.
Jack Klugman? That was the motherfucking show. Well, listen, subscribe, okay? Like, donate, go fucking cash.me /$, you know what I mean? Patreon.com/YANADAMEEN or YANADAMEEN.com/support. Hit us up in the comments, hit us with topics, all kind of shit that you want to talk about. And don't worry, Digga will be back next week. 20-second honey bun in the microwave. We'll be back. You get all, the thigh, everything that you like and but we might be going in next week hard. And I don't say all that pause shit because that's some other shit. But yeah, we might be going in hard next week. So with that, I'm Lord Jamar.
On Fact Checker Rage.
Peace.
1, 2, and you don't stop. And you say New York City.
Ha ha.
Brooklyn's historic The Black Lady Theater is now taking bookings. Host your next birthday party, concert, networking event, baby or bridal shower, wedding, art show, gala, corporate event, live stage play, audition, and so much more. At the one and only The Black Lady Theater. Mention code GODCAST for 15% off your rental fee. Code good for the first-time customers only. Valid for a limited time. Call 718-771-0900 to book your event today.